Hi everybody, this is Pancho, your Colorado Watchman, coming to you from way up in the most rugged part of the Rocky Mountains, the San Juans, up here near 9,000 feet. And I'm keeping an eye on things for you. You know, I had a fun idea for something to do for this year's Super Bowl. And that is to play, it's kind of like one of those games you used to play when you're driving in the car, and it is the Super Bowl halftime Illuminati scorecard. And so I have a list of all kinds of these Illuminati symbols that we may see in this year's halftime show. Justin Timberlake is the main act there. And so we're going to see how many of these Illuminati symbols he uses. And you know, that's something I do as the Colorado Watchman, is I look at all these other crazy Christian truthers and YouTubers out there, and I look at stuff and try and corroborate what they're saying. I mean, I look at things like, is Hillary Clinton really eating babies? Or are there satanic cults out there? Is the New World Order and the Illuminati really a thing? I mean, or is that really happening? Is that a deal? What else? You know, or were there giants? What about the UFOs? Things like that. And so, you know, I look to corroborate and check out these guys on the internet. But anyway, this is a fun way to do it. We'll do it together. And what you can do is go down into the description of this video, and there's a link down there you can click, and you can download the PDF of this scorecard and print it, and then you can play along. It'll be some extra fun for this year's Super Bowl and halftime show. And so let's just look at some of the items that we got on the checklist this year. All right, the first one we're looking at is the all-seeing eye. Of course, that's very common these days. You'll see that tattoo on people's hands. It's everywhere, on their costumes and everything. So, you know, there's a good chance we'll see an all-seeing eye during this year's halftime show. Here's a Hindu version there, the all-seeing eye in the hand, an ancient occult symbol. Okay, the pyramid, pyramids and triangles. We've already seen these at previous halftime shows, previous Super Bowl halftime shows, and so frequently people are rising out of a pyramid or coming out of triangles or worshiping a pyramid, perhaps. Here's another big one, the 666 symbol. Now you may think everybody's just flashing you the A-OK sign. Everybody's A-OK all the time, A-OK all over the place. Except that the internet says that's the 666 symbol, which of course is the occult number of the beast from the Bible. Here's how that works. That's how that represents the 666 there. And you can see here's Kevin Spacey, and he's not only using the 666 symbol, but he's also covering one of his eyes. And so that's our next item on the checklist, is the one-eye blind, the hidden eye symbol. Now, that, in anciently speaking, has been the symbol of Nimrod. Nimrod, if you recall in the Bible, was the guy that built the Tower of Babel. And so he was really the first guy to lead a rebellion against God. And you may hear that name used as a derogatory statement. You Nimrod, you know, because leading a revolt against God turned out not to be a very wise thing to do. But anyway, Nimrod had left eye blind. So that's frequently now the symbol of, and has been a symbol for rebellion against God. You know, not unlike the Apple. You got an Apple computer, that's an apple with a bite taken out of it. Symbol for rebellion against God also. And you can see, this is not just occasionally someone does this, occasionally someone gives you this or whatever. They're all doing it all the time. All the celebrities use these symbols constantly. Here's one, Hillary Clinton with the one-eye blind symbol. Hillary Clinton there with using the symbol for rebellion against God, the Nimrod symbol. Classic. All right, now pizza, clearly not an ancient symbol, but it's an up-and-comer. And so we're seeing a lot of pizza symbolism out there. You know, it can represent pedophilia, satanic sacrifices, things like that. And of course, there's Pizzagate. Another question, you know, is that for real, you know? But anyway, here's Katy Perry, another one of our great pop stars, and previously a NFL halftime performer in her pizza outfit. And then, of course, we got Miley Cyrus here on her pizza bedspread. And, those emails, the Podesta emails that were leaked by WikiLeaks, they referred to pizza over 60 times in their emails. I mean, seriously, when how many months or years would it take for me, from all my posts on Facebook and emails and texts, to use the word pizza 60 times? Would probably take the rest of my life. They did it in a matter of a few weeks. So there's something fishy about pizza. We may see some pizza symbolism in this year's NFL halftime show. Now here's Justin Timberlake himself, again, the main act in this year's show, and there he is with hundreds, it looks like, of umbrellas. So umbrellas is supposed to be another more common, more recent, more modern occult symbol for the MK Ultra. So we may see some umbrellas in this year's halftime show. The checkerboard floor, the checkerboard pattern. Of course, this is from a Masonic lodge, Masonic temple, if you will. And so it's in the checkerboard pattern is in every Masonic lodge. It's an important symbol to the Freemasons and just gets picked up everywhere. And so we may see it in clothing, or it could be on the walls or ceilings or whatever. It's not always just on the floor. You could see in a previous Super Bowl, the checkerboard pattern was used already once. And so we'll see if we see that again this year. I was in Jimmy Messina's recording studio in Carpinteria, California many, many years ago. And his floor, strikingly black and white checkerboard of the recording studio. And it looked beautiful, shiny. I thought, shiny and beautiful. But, do they just like checkerboards, or is there more to it? I mean, it seems like they crop up everywhere. The pentagram, or the pentacle, another ancient satanic symbol. Here is Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan and author of the Satanic Bible, here posing in front of his beloved pentagram there. The Grammy Awards. Look at that. What a coincidence. The symbol for the Grammy Awards is an inverted pentagram. The exact same symbol. Pentagram, Grammy, somehow related there. The Grammy Awards. Oh, and don't forget, here's occult symbol lover David Bowie. And shortly before his death, I think this may have been his last video, and there he is with obviously an occult book, The Black Star, I think was the name of that song. And so here we have another pentagram. Snakes and serpents. Don't snakes and the Super Bowl just go together? What would a Super Bowl be without a giant snake? So who knows? We may see a snake or serpent, if you will, in the halftime performance. Here's Pink, who sung the national anthem, and with a snaky looking thing behind her. And this one's great. Here's the snakes on the crucifix look. That's always fun, isn't it? And then, it could be a dragon. Snakes and dragons, kind of interchangeable there. That's the Ouroboros symbol, the snake or the dragon eating its own tail. So we may see an Ouroboros possibly you keep your eyes open during this year's halftime show. Let's see. Okay, the monarch butterfly. That's a symbol from MK Ultra, they say, out all across the internet. And so sometimes it's shown on the mouth, frequently also shown on the eyes. And this one kind of throws in that whole one eye covered thing. Also, here's Uma Thurman, a butterfly on her eye. So again, this is not just something that's a one-time thing. These symbols are ones that we're getting pounded with them. And so really the question is, are these pop stars and their managers just really trying to indoctrinate us with all these occult symbols? Or is it just they're kind of cool looking and occasionally slip in to a performance or a video, a costume or whatever? The lightning bolt. Now we've seen this for a long time. Elvis used the lightning bolt. David Bowie had the lightning bolt over his eye. Here, of course, is Lady Gaga with the lightning bolt. That's pretty much her logo. There it is across her whole body in her logo. And, the lightning bolt is the symbol of Lucifer, falling from heaven, being cast down to earth from heaven, and that's in the Bible. Lucifer came down as a lightning bolt. Here is a symbol off the side of a World War II Nazi helmet. And the symbol of the SS, of the Nazis, was the double lightning bolt there. They were into the occult, you know, those Nazis. And here's Justin again, Justin Timberlake, our star of the show, and a previous show somewhere with a shirt covered with lightning bolts. So there's a good chance we're going to see some lightning bolts around, some lightning bolt symbols in this year's Super Bowl halftime show. All right, we're back to our friend Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan, and there he is throwing up the devil's horns, you know, and I guess people think that means rock on, you know, that's rock and roll, rock and roll. But you know, this is the founder of the Church of Satan doing this, and he doesn't mean rock and roll. He means Satan. Here we have President Obama throwing up the double devil's horns. He's always kind of, you know, being kind of hip there. Gene Simmons. This is a classic. Gene Simmons of Kiss with his tongue sticking out and the devil horn, of course. The twin pillars is another symbol on the list that we could see, and it's been seen before previous Super Bowl halftime shows. Pillars Joachim and Boaz, as I recall, and this is a Masonic symbol, and you can see in this illustration we've got the checkerboard, we got the all-seeing eye, we got and the pentagram, we got multiple of the symbols there in a little Freemason thing out of the Masonic Bible, an illustration from the Masonic Bible. Okay, yeah, here's a past Super Bowl, and you can see the twin pillars are back there, and so they have been used before. So we may, keep your eyes open, see the twin pillars. The cube, particularly the black cube, is on the list also. So that's something, another just very occult symbol, the black cube. The Satanic Temple tried to put a black cube mounted in the town park up there in Minnesota, and there's still a lawsuit ongoing about that. Here's Lady Gaga inside the hologram of a cube. This is a cube out in front of J.P. Morgan and Chase. So they're somewhat occultic, I guess, huh? Now this is the Kaaba, which means the cube in Arabic. And this is when all the Muslims go to Mecca to make their pilgrimage. Then they all walk in circles around the Kaaba, and hopefully they get close enough to kiss the Kaaba stone, which is in one of the corners, is the stone that the whole thing's kind of built around. And interestingly enough, notice the twin minarets in the background. Look somewhat like the twin pillars, do they not? The Kaaba, man, that is, talk about some occult symbolism, the black cube. Oh, and then here we are inside the UN. I'm talking about the United Nations. This is a whole nother video here. The United Nations meditation room. And there they have a black stone. It's not totally a cube, but it's the same principle. This particular stone is actually made of magnetite. So this is a giant magnetic black cube-shaped stone in the meditation room of the UN. So yeah, if you happen to be in the UN, feel like you need some quiet time, you need to go in and meditate with this giant magnet in there. The number 33, you can see here this is associated with Disney's, and you know, in the heart of Disney is the 33 Club, and it's the most exclusive club. You have to be a member and a Mason to be a member to get into the 33 Club. And so the number 33 is an ancient occult number, which typically represents the third of the angels that fell with Lucifer. So it's another Luciferian number, 33, a third of the angels that fell to earth with Lucifer. And they became the demons, what are now demons. Here it is in another Masonic symbol, the double-headed eagle. Now we may see that one's not on the list, or not. But we might see the 33. Keep your eyes open for that. Okay, what about the triangle sign? This Illuminati symbol. Boy, I mean, it's almost like they're doing it by accident. You'll see people, all kinds of people talking or whatever, and somehow this symbol crops up. And I don't see how, I'm never walking around town or talking to somebody and accidentally making this symbol. Here's the Reverend Al Sharpton clearly making that symbol on purpose. What is the Reverend Al Sharpton doing making the triangle symbol? What's that supposed to say to us? Of course, here's Beyonce from a previous Super Bowl making the symbol right in the opening of her act there, the Illuminati symbol. So, you know, some of the concerts now, they have the crowd all making that symbol in the air, like when we used to hold the lighter up. Now they hold up that Illuminati symbol. Oh, and our last one on the list is the owl. Now, this is a famous shot from the Bohemian Grove. It's quite disturbing, really, that all our leaders, the Bushes, the Clintons, and everybody, and bankers and billionaires and all the elites go once a year to this place in California, the Bohemian Grove, where they have this cremation of care, occult ceremony. They're dressed in robes and they're chanting, and they have an altar there burning. They're clearly burning some kind of sacrifice right in front of this 40-foot stone owl. And so that's what happens every year at the Bohemian Grove in California. And so owls, of course, is a long-time occultic symbol. Here's Madonna from a Super Bowl. Looks like dressed possibly as an owl there. She kind of has an owly look there. That might be it. Here's another little tidbit. There's actually an owl hidden there in the corner of the $1 bill. You probably didn't know that. So, you know, incidentally, the owl is the mascot, the symbol of my high school back in Tennessee, the Memphis University School. Owls, that's the football team, and everybody were the Owls. So, what do you know? Just can't get away from it. Now, here on the list, I've also got space for ones that are not listed. So there's an add your own area. So you may come across some other symbols like Saturn. What about the symbol of Saturn? That's really the symbol for Satan. Cannibalism. Maybe we'll see some simulated cannibalism or something like that on there. You know, we've seen a lot about that lately. Katy Perry and others simulating cannibalism. What about the Baphomet? Baphomet's the goat-headed transsexual god or whatever. It's like a goat-headed man. The Temple of Satan. They have a big Baphomet statue, a giant one, in their museum there in Salem, Massachusetts right now. But it's the one they tried to put out like in Oklahoma City and elsewhere to counter the Ten Commandments there. They wanted to put their giant Baphomet, satanic Baphomet statue. So who knows, maybe Justin Timberlake will come out with some like ram horns or something like, although that would be a different team than the Vikings, wouldn't it? So anyway, there you have it. So go ahead and add in your own if you find them, tally up, get your final score, and then we're going to see how it's going to be just a little added fun to this year's NFL Super Bowl festivities. You know, you get your hot dogs, you get the game, and then you get the halftime show with your Illuminati scorecard. Now, depending on how it comes out, again, we're checking this out. There may be none of those symbols, but if there's a lot of them, that looks a little strange. So depending on how it comes out, we may have a follow-up video and maybe even look at past NFL halftime shows and score them with our score sheet and kind of see how they match up. How does he stand? How does Justin Timberlake Illuminati symbolism stand up against Katy Perry and Beyonce, Lady Gaga, and some of those recent others? Is this Illuminati thing for real? Are they really just trying to indoctrinate us with all this occult symbolism? All right, that's it for this episode of the Colorado Watchman. Catch you next time. And don't forget to go down into the description and download the PDF file of your scorecard and print it, and you can play along. Hope you like it.